Hi everybody, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I made a few changes since the last episode. The first of those is I got a new keyboard, which is still... Here, let me show you. It's still a mechanical keyboard, but it has quieter switches. I got a Razer Black Widow something or other. It's a Chroma, I don't know, Elite. It wasn't very cheap, but it's a really nice keyboard. And it does cool things with the colors and stuff that can integrate with the game. So I love mechanical keyboards. I love the feel of them, of the mechanical switches. But I did want to get something a little bit quieter. So let me know what you guys think. I've upgraded all the labs. So these are all advanced labs now. To make the advanced labs, you just take a regular lab and add some ingredients to it. The difference between the advanced labs and the regular labs, they're the same speed. The advanced labs have some sort of a disco party going on inside. And the advanced labs take different science cards. So to do the utility tech, which we're working towards now, we need the advanced labs because the regular labs can't accept utility tech cards or production tech cards. Also, the advanced labs do not accept the basic tech cards, which are the very first ones that we started with. And that's okay because of all the research that I've got to do now. None of them require basic tech cards anymore. So we've outgrown the basic tech cards. I think some of the last research that I did with a basic tech card was some of the reach research. So speaking of that, I did enable reach research from the quality of life mod. So I've been researching that. So my reach is considerably extended now. I can build out and pick things up from farther away, which will make things a little smoother. So because we're not using basic tech cards anymore, we can take this apart. Okay, we'll pick up all this copper. I should be able to pick that up. There we go. I'll hit Shift-C to get rid of some of this stuff that I'm carrying. Okay, so it's nice to graduate. And then I'll pick these up. All right, and we'll put those back in the labs. And I'll put the basic tech cards in my trash slots. I've got some extra copper. Let's see if I can get rid of some of that. I can even put some in here. There we go. Okay, so that's nice. The other thing that I did is I changed the way that I'm picking up from the belts. So now I'm only picking up into these 3 labs. And then these are inserting both vertically to the north and horizontally to the west. And by doing this, we are essentially loading the labs up in this corner first. I like to do this sort of thing because it prevents certain cases where, for example, you have a lab that is missing a red science pack, and then maybe you have another lab next to it that has a red one but's missing a green one. So this way there's always going to be, like, whatever science pack is needed is always going to find its way into a lab with all the other science packs that are needed. I don't know if I explained that very well. Hopefully that makes sense. But it's just, I think it's a little more efficient to do it this way. Okay. What else? Dirty water. I initially... Oh, it looks like our iron... Yay, our iron patch is gone. All right, cool. So we're done mining iron in the main base. On my dirty water processing, which I was doing down here, all the dirty water from my enriched ores was coming over here, and then I was getting water backing up, which I was just burning off. But then, you know, when I checked, I realized that I could just recycle the dirty water where I'm doing the ore enrichment, and that would allow me to recycle all the water. Because when you filter the dirty water, you take in 100 dirty and output 100 clean. And the ore enrichment process takes in 25 clean and outputs 25 dirty. So in other words, it's a 1-to-1 ratio between dirty water and clean water. So by putting this machine here, I can avoid having to transport the dirty water and then having clean water that I have to get rid of, where instead I can just recirculate the water and just filter it on the spot. And also the fact that the dirty water filtration produces some ore seems to suggest that the game really wants you to do it over here. So what I do is I filter it, and then if I get a piece of iron ore that goes onto the belt to be enriched, and the stone goes into a little supply depot to be picked up and used wherever stone is wanted. So we're doing that here for iron and up here for copper as well. Okay, same type of thing, slightly different layout, but essentially the same process. And I think that works much better. Now I think my copper enrichment, I think I'll eventually have to move. You know, maybe I'll put it over here at some point and unload copper on this side. Just because this is, well, no, I guess I could unload copper here and leave this where it is, you know, once this copper ore is depleted. But I think it'll be a while before that is depleted. Okay, so I'm going to check enriched ore and dirty water processing off the list. Train refueling. I did load the train supply network mod, or no, train supply manager mod, TSM. I'm not planning to use the scheduling function. I just did it for the fuel depot. Okay, so I set up a fuel depot over here. It's called Fuel Stop 1. The number 1 just indicates that any train that has a single locomotive in it will go to this stop when it needs fuel. So this way I don't have to worry about fueling trains at along every single train route that I put into the game. I can just do it here once and that'll be enough. So anytime a train needs fuel, this stop will get added to the end of its schedule. It'll stop here and fill up. And then I've also switched to biofuel. We're doing that over here in the refinery. So here in the refinery, I'm making the fuel, and then I bring in some bioethanol, whatever that fuel is that I'm using for my power plant. I'm just pumping a little bit over here to the fuel depot. I put a circuit on it so that it'll only go here when I have more than 100,000 in the tank. So that way the biomethanol So the biomethanol gets prioritized for power production, and excess can go here to be used to make the biofuel. And you'll probably recall that the biofuel is the one that is a little bit slower. It produces 50% pollution. Vehicle acceleration is 80% and vehicle top speed is 90%. So it's a little bit slower, but it produces half as much pollution, and it is more efficient to produce because I get 10 canisters of biofuel from only 6 canisters of regular fuel. And then later on in the game, we'll get the advanced fuel, which is faster but more polluting and less efficient to make. I'll probably just use that for my own personal train. And I did set up an engineering stop here for a personal train. I haven't made the train yet, but the stop is right here next to the mall for when I decide to have that. So when I'm going to build additional outposts and things, I'll have that train available. Let's see how we're doing pollution-wise down here. Okay, it's starting to clean up a little bit. Yeah, and it's interesting. You can see now I guess just because we're sucking in pollution over here, we've got some patchiness in the pollution cloud in various areas here. And we haven't really gotten too many attacks over here, which is nice. Let's see how we're doing on clean filters. We've only got 28 left, so I'll have to get some more filters taken down there. All right, looks like we did get an attack over here. But there haven't been too many attacks that I've been aware of in this area. I really want to get artillery so that I can kind of clean these bases out from around my stuff automatically without having to do it manually. But that'll be later in the game, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to check that off, and then the next thing will be to go to the utility tech cards. So let's figure out what we need to do to get those produced. Okay, so we're going to need processing units, low density structures, rocket fuel, and blank tech cards. And now that I have Factory Planner, let's go ahead and plan it out using this. Oh, and here we can see all the other different types of tech cards that we're going to have to make at some point. There's the utility one. Okay. Utility tech cards, 45 per minute to match the others. Okay, these are going to be made in a research server, so we're going to need 3 of those. Where are those? Research server. Okay, I need electronic components, which I have over here. I'll grab a couple stacks of those. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then let's see, blank tech cards. Single machine making those from copper cable and iron plate. And then we're going to need blue circuits, low density structures, and rocket fuel. All right, so we've got choices on the rocket fuel. 3 different ways to make those. Which one is best? I don't know. We'll come back to that. Low density structures. That one is fairly simple. 3 ingredients that I'm already crafting there. And I'm going to need 20 machines making those, so we'll probably do that in a dedicated area. And then the blue circuits, 6 machines, sulfuric acid, red circuits, and then I need rare metals, which I'm not currently producing. And that takes raw rare metals and fuel, it looks like. Okay, and I'll use solid fuel for the fuel. Yeah, and we'll use the stone. Maybe I should start making steel furnaces. Let's use steel furnaces for that. And let's see where else rare metals are going to be used. For processing units, okay, nitric acid, immersium plate. Okay. Well, it looks like it's used in a lot of recipes for items. For base building items, buildings and structures and such. Okay. But I would imagine that we would want a dedicated area for that too. Let's see if I can craft some steel furnaces. I need stone brick. Do I have some here? No, I do not. Okay, I'm going to have to go fetch stone brick. So I think what I'll do, I'll just make a full line for processing the rare metals. Okay, now let's look at the rocket fuel. Okay, and I'm gonna add it for all 3 recipes so that we can compare them. All right, so let's look at 45. And I'm sure I'm going to need these for rockets too. All right, so that's the first recipe. Let's add another one, if it'll let me do that. No. Let's see. Can I duplicate it? Ah, there we go. Perfect. Ah. 100, 100, 100. Can I edit this? Okay, so we'll just go 33%, 33%, 33%. How much of the demand for the products should be fulfilled by this recipe? Oh, okay. 33%, enter. There we go. That's not quite right, is it? There should be 15 on each of these. All right, let's try this again. 33%. 33%. You know what, it's doing 33% of the remaining value. 50, and then this is 100. Okay, that's a little weird. Let's see. There we go. All right, well, that's as close to 15 as I can get. Okay, so here's the amount of iron that each uses is the same. Oxygen used is the same. So the difference is between the light oil, ammonia, or hydrogen chloride. Now, light oil, I know that I've got. Let's take a look at ammonia. that's made from hydrogen and nitrogen, which we can make in a chemical plant. Hydrogen we can get from water electrolysis or water separation. Okay, and water separation is the one that I'm doing already to get oxygen. Or no, I'm getting oxygen from the atmosphere right now. In the power plant. Yeah, I'm getting that from atmospheric condenser, so I'm not getting any hydrogen from that. Wasn't there some place where I was... Okay, yeah, here's where I was making hydrogen. For the chlorine gas that I was using to mine the metals. Okay, can I delete this? Control right click. Okay, so let's eliminate that because I've already got hydrogen. Let's look at nitrogen. And I can get nitrogen from the atmosphere. Well, and I'm going to need oxygen too, right? Okay, so nitrogen I can get from the atmosphere. And then hydrogen, let's get from water separation because that'll give us oxygen that we need as well as hydrogen. Okay, so that would be one way to make this. Iron plate, oxygen, and ammonia. And the ammonia essentially only costs water and electricity. So that's fairly easy, and that would not put any demand on my refinery, which I like. Okay, so let's look at the hydrogen chloride version. Okay, so for that we need chlorine and hydrogen. Okay, which I am making for the mining of the precious metals, the rare metals, whatever, you know, those metals. And it's also a byproduct of lithium production, which I'll probably make. So I can do, wait a minute, no, I don't want that. Hydrogen and chlorine. Okay, yeah, I'm doing that with water electrolysis. I'm already doing that over here. I've got 4 machines. Okay, so I can make 2 more 2 more electrolysis machines. Well, I would need a lot more because this is only 1/3. This is just for the sake of comparison. And here we need equal quantities of chlorine and hydrogen. But since we need the chlorine anyway for the mining, I think this is the way we do it. I think we do it with the hydrogen chloride from electrolysis. Okay. So we'll use this recipe. And then I'm also going to need oxygen. Okay, well that's the recipe I'm going to use. Fuel refinery. Okay, hydrogen chloride we'll make from in the chemical plants. And we'll make that from water electrolysis. And this is saying we have a shortage of hydrogen. I don't know why it says that. Oh no, this is saying we have an excess of hydrogen. Again, I don't know why it says that, because we need the same quantity. That doesn't make sense. Okay, and then this will also use some of the stone. This will be a good sink for the stone that we're getting from the ore enrichment. Okay, so I'm going to need 6 electrolysis plants to do that. And then for the oxygen, we can get from water separation or from atmospheric condenser. I like that because that doesn't give us any byproducts. So we'll need another 5 atmospheric condensers. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff for the rocket fuel. So I think we have a separate area for rocket fuel, a separate area for low density structures, a separate area for rare metals, and probably a separate area for processing units. Let's see where else those are going to be used. I mean, besides crafting equipment, we need them for the tech cards. Some artillery stuff, modules. And matter tech cards. Okay. Yeah, so we'll make blue circuits in a separate area because we're going to want that to be expandable. Yeah, we'll also need it for rocket control units and stuff. Okay, so we need a lot of stuff. Can I pin this? No, I need to use Hellmod for that. That's too bad. All right, so let's do blue circuits first because that's going to open up some, that's going to allow us to make better power armor and stuff. I'm going to need to do rare metals first, but these require red circuits, so we should make them close to red circuits, which I guess would have to be here, or we could do it here with some landfill. Yeah, let's do it here. Okay, so this will be blue circuit production, and it's going to start off very small. Okay, we need the metals, which we're mining here. This is reserved for an advanced refinery. Should I do that here? I think I got too much stuff there already. I could do it down here, perhaps. Okay, we'll do that down here. Rare metals. Where are you? Lithium. There it is. Okay. And then low density structures and rocket fuel. Okay, low density structures just need plastic, steel, and copper. So over here someplace. I guess we'll do that here. And oh yeah, and the rocket fuel. And the rocket fuel is going to be fairly, well, it's going to be completely self-contained, except for the iron plate. let's do that up here. Okay. So we'll get started with the metals. Let's choose some more research if I can do any. Yeah, we can do crafting speed, follower robot count, and then I think that's going to be it. Yep, that'll be all that we can do. Okay, rare metals down there in the refinery. I wanted to make steel furnaces. For that, I need stone brick. Which I need from there. Okay, I guess we'll drive. Let's check my power real quick. I'm at 49 megawatts, which I think is about half of what my power plant can produce. Let's not forget the stone brick. All right. 5, 10, 15. I'll start with 16. And let's go over here and take these bots out, so we can make that turn off. Oh, it's not going to turn off. Okay, let's put it in a supply depot. Yeah. Yes, I'm still terrible at driving. Okay. All right. Yeah, so all we need is rare metals and fuel. So this will be a fairly simple setup. We'll place 2 request depots up here. One for the raw metals. And one for the solid fuel. Let's look at the crafting speed here. We get 5 every 16 seconds. Times 2. Since the steel furnaces have a crafting speed of 2. How's the pollution on that? 4 per minute. Versus 2 per minute. Okay, so it's basically the same amount of... Hey now. Let's do electric furnaces. Never mind. That'll make things easier, won't it? And less pollution too, a lot less. Okay, so these are going to need to pick up 10 every 8 seconds. So good old yellow inserters are going to be fine for this job. And already it's one of my biggest fuel consumers. Alright, we're going to need more power. I do have nuclear stuff researched. Right, we can make reactors. Let's check our options for late game power here. We can go into fusion energy. With a DT fuel cell, which requires tritium. Tritium we get from uranium. Okay. Yeah, so I think nuclear power is the way to go. That'll unlock some really cool high-tech stuff later on. So that'll be long-term. Are we starving down here? Yeah, these are consuming 10 every 8 seconds times 8. That's 80 every 8 seconds, 10 per second. And I only have half a belt coming out, so we need another one of those. In that case, I don't need the splitter at all. But I probably do need more drones. And I probably also will want some additional miners up here. Let's put in another stack. I might need more chlorine at some point. We'll see how it goes. You know, if I run out, then I know I need more chlorine for the mining. Okay. And then I'll just put the supply depot right here. There we go. Okay. So we got the rare metals. Right, we only needed 2 furnaces, so I've got a lot of extra. And let's change this over to electric furnace, advanced furnace, crafting speed 12. Holy cow. I don't think I can make those yet. No, I can't. Okay, but I'm happy to switch over to electric. That's much nicer, not having to worry about bringing fuel over. And why are these guys running short? Okay, no, it's all right. Okay, so we're good there. Now we can make the blue circuits. So let's go do that. I'm going to do that before we finish today, at least, so that way we can make power armor and some of that other really nice stuff. Where did we decide to put it? Okay, I'm going to need a lot of landfill. And I think I'd like to make, yeah, let's make another teleporter. too much stuff in my inventory. There we go. Let's get more than that. Let's just fill up with landfill. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to run down there, and then we'll just teleport back. Oh, I should bring some road with me as well. Okay. Let's get rid of solid fuel. Let's get rid of the refineries. Let's get rid of the creep collector. I don't think I'm going to use that anymore since I'm making my biomass. I just need to clear out some inventory space here. Okay, I'm done with rails for a while. All right, good enough. Oh man, so close. Okay. Let's put down the grid with the power poles. Okay. And I'll put my teleporter right here. Okay. Grab some more road. Oh no, I'm not done with landfill, not by a long shot. There we go. Now I'm done with landfill. I wish I could just dump landfill in there. All right, I'll put some in there. Great. I think I'm doing okay on inserters and stuff. Okay, so I need 6 machines making the blue circuits. I think for now, I'll double it at least. And we're going to need several request depots. Now for red circuits, I think I'll skip the depot for the red circuits. I'll just belt it in since it's right here. It seems kind of silly to have drones just taking it across the street. So the other ingredients are the rare metals and sulfuric acid. Rare metals, I can never seem to find. Why is it so hard to find those things? There they are. Okay, and where are my drones? I need more drones. And this will be for the sulfuric acid. We'll do 3 drones of that. Okay. And we'll do 12. I guess I'll just start these in the center. Six red circuits and 3 rare metals every 12 seconds. That's less than 1 per second for each. Yeah, so I think we can do a split belt. Like that. Let's go ahead and double it again. It's hard to have too many blue circuits. Okay. Let's make one red belt and one red splitter. That way we can handle 2 full yellow belts. Okay. And now I can make power armor as soon as I grab some electric engines. Alright, let's get the rest of our power poles put in place. We'll put a supply depot down here. And I will put a cap on it for now just because, well, I don't know. I don't know if I need it, but, you know, in vanilla these are really expensive to make, and I feel like they probably will be here too. And actually I'm going to move this. Actually, let me copy it. Hopefully it'll retain the name. And I'll put it down here instead, because if I come here, it's probably going to be to grab blue circuits. Okay. How do I go in? Enter. There we go. All right. All right, let's get some electric engines, which I have down here. Let's empty out my modular armor, because that's one of the ingredients for the power armor. I'm really glad. I mean, honestly, I think that's something they should do in vanilla, is make each tier of armor require the previous one. It just seems to make sense. Okay. Now I have more armor. So let's make a portable nuclear reactor. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, but you know what? I bet I need nuclear fuel for that. Yeah, and I'm not making any of that yet. All right, so we'll go with portable generator. 540 kilowatts. And that's 3 by 3. I could fit a couple of those. Let's see if one is going to be enough. Okay, we'll put in my RoboPort. We'll put in my shields. Where's my battery? There's my big battery. And I think I'll make another RoboPort. And I'll get my other shields. Nah. Let's make an exoskeleton. That's what I really need. 2 by 4. Do I have enough room? Yes, I have. I don't know if I'm making enough power, though. Alright, I'll grab some solid fuel. Throw that in the Jenny. Okay. Well, the shield's charged up fast. Okay, and let's get 20 more bots. do have room for another battery. Let's do that. Big personal battery Mark II. 75 megajoules versus 30. Yeah, let's just make one of those. I'll make one of those. Yeah, and then I just barely don't have enough room for another generator. Another generator would be nice. I could lose the shields. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not too worried about defenses right now because I'm not going out into the wild. Yeah, so let's run 2 generators. Let's get some more solid fuel. I got some coke too. We can burn up some coke. Okay, so once the roboport's finished charging, then the battery will start to build a charge. Okay, and that's the best we're going to be able to do for now. Later we'll get up to Power Armor Mark IV. Mark II would be nice. We can do that once we get the utility tech cards. So we'll upgrade over time. And then once we have nuclear fuel, or the nuclear reactor, that'll be good. We'll want to get into some uranium mining, which I assume takes... I assume that takes acid like it does in vanilla. Yeah, that takes sulfuric acid. Okay, I think that's the closest uranium patch. In fact, that's the only one that I see on the map right now. Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll have to do that at some point. Okay, well, that's going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.